And we're live. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Four Quarters. All sports, every day, all day.
And she's a babe.
I really got to stop talking about Aaron Rodgers.
My money's on that.
And to no surprise, my shout out, Caitlin Clark.
Like right now, we're here live.
Hello, welcome in to Four Quarters Live on our Four Quarters Facebook page. We are here. We are also on 802 Scoops, and you know YouTube. You know what to do. I don't need to keep bugging you guys.
It's because we don't know what to do.
Yeah, we don't, but you know what to do. Welcome in. Happy Hump Day. God, it feels like it should be Friday.
It does.
Oh man,
It's been one of
It's a
those
long week already.
weeks.
Yep, agreed.
And is it this time of year? Is it the lack of vitamin D, the lack of the sun?
it's so bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
The days aren't shorter, but they are as far as the
Yeah.
darkness.
Yeah, I don't even care about the cold so much as it's just always dark or cloudy.
Right.
So you're just
It's brutal.
frumpy is
Yeah.
my word of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frumpy.
I mean, seasonal depression is a thing.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. And you at least have like basketball every day.
Yeah.
You know, for like CB and I,
Broadcasting, yeah.
we don't have a hobby in the winter, so
Nope.
it drags. I
It's
mean,
this tonight.
this is
Yeah,
this
pretty much.
And I play basketball on Sundays, but like other than that, the winters, man,
Yeah.
drag.
brutal
They're
and
brutal.
long.
They're brutal. Thank God for
and long.
sports. Thank God for sports.
Are you still
pets.
undefeated?
Yes, we won. Shout out to the old ladies.
I heard.
We had 5 players.
I heard.
Saturday.
Alicia gave me the rundown.
5 players. Average height of about 5'6".
5'6", yeah.
Average age
Yeah.
of about late 30s.
Yeah, I was going to say 30s, 40s. Yep,
Yep, 30s, 40s. Playing against kids right out of freaking college.
Oh jeez.
And I'm like, and we took every opportunity to just take a break. So like, you had to hand the ball to the ref. We're like rolling it to them. We're like, here
that
here
is
you go.
brilliant, actually.
Yeah, it was
Tactical.
brilliant.
You know?
Tactical.
And
Come on.
somehow we won. I do not know how, but we did. We're still undefeated, but I'm very happy to report that all of our big, tall girls come back Sunday.
I knew Alicia had a class all weekend. So I
All
was like,
3 of our bigs were out.
Oh jeez.
I'm like, wait, you couldn't play basketball? And she's like, no. And she was walking past my desk. She goes, but we still won. And I'm like,
Grace
awesome.
of God. Grace of
Wheels,
God.
you must have slept like a baby
I
that night.
definitely did, yes.
That's
Sure did.
great. That's awesome stuff. Wheels, I'm going to give it to you then let's start our shout outs
All
for the
right,
first
hey.
quarter.
So I have 3 shout outs today. The first one being shout out to Steph Curry. So we all know in the NBA people take days off. They always take games off.
Yep.
It's a thing.
It's a thing
now, if you don't play a certain amount of games, you're not qualified for awards. So
Oh
like,
right. Yep.
so
Valid point.
which I agree with. I think that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely.
But Steph Curry, he sat out a game last week, not by choice. He was injured. And he felt so bad about sitting that game out, knowing that there were a bunch of kids that came to watch him play.
Yep.
They all had like Curry jerseys on. He invited them into the locker room after the game
Aw.
What a good guy.
because he knew that
Yeah.
they paid so much money to watch him and he didn't play.
Did he keep them away from Draymond Green?
Yes.
Did he say?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So, but
I'm all
Protect
for
them.
it.
he's just such a
Yep.
great guy.
He
Such a great
is
guy.
a great guy.
You know,
He
Absolutely.
really is.
he just
Yep.
I just love him, and when he retires, it's going to be a sad day in the NBA for sure.
I believe it was the coach of the Raptors that is like, I will buy a bottle of the best, I don't know what his, beverage of choice was, once Steph Curry retires. I get it, it'll be a sad day, he
Yeah.
said, but I'm going to celebrate, which is the ultimate compliment
Oh,
you
yeah.
can give
Oh,
a
yeah.
player
Yes.
from a coach.
Oh,
is,
100%.
Sure.
I can't coach against you anymore, get out.
Right, right. And I know that like our generation and stuff, we've seen great shooters, and there's the Reggie Millers and Larry Bird and all that stuff. But to me, he's the greatest shooting guard I've ever seen in
Right.
the NBA.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He's the best
Yep.
shooter in the NBA, in NBA history, in
Yep.
my opinion.
And I remember when he was playing at Davidson, and he put Davidson on the
He
map.
did, yes.
They either made the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, I don't know, he's just a little too scrawny.
Yeah.
But
But
he
he
did what he
was.
had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got into the gym, he put in the freaking work.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, he's one of the greatest shooters.
Yep, and he plays the game the right way, and off the court, he's a great ambassador of, and just a great human.
Yes.
Him and his wife both
Yes.
are great.
Yep.
My next shout out is to, and you may be talking about this at some point, the Pitt women's basketball team.
No, this one's on you.
Largest comeback in NCAA women's basketball history. They were down 46-14,
Get out.
and they won 72-59.
Get out.
Holy.
Yep.
Who, do you know who they were playing?
They were playing SMU.
Wait.
SMU had to
13
have their,
points. Wait, when was that lead then?
So the lead of 46-14 was in the second quarter, so going into
Yeah.
the half. They held them to 13 points in the second half.
That is
SMU
insane.
had to have their tails between their legs.
They had
once
to.
They walked
So
out of
Pitt
that
came into
gym.
the game 8-9, 0-4 in the conference. SMU 10-6, 2-2. Largest comeback in women's basketball history. I mean,
That's freaking amazing.
that just goes to show you that's why you play all four quarters.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's super impressive.
Super
Exactly.
impressive. Not only to come back and win, but you held them to 13
We
points.
held them to 13
When they
points.
went off of 46.
Right.
Division I basketball.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Crazy.
I got to go find that game
Yeah,
and watch it.
you need to.
I
It's-
really
I
need to
watched
watch
some
that game.
highlights. It's pretty impressive.
Wow.
And then my last one is more of a shout down slash
We
shout
have
out.
those.
Yep.
It's kind of all combined. Again, it's about Caitlin Clark. Duh.
I almost thought we were getting.
No, you guys did. I saved it
almost
for
just choked
last.
on my gum.
So you guys were like, "Oh my God, is she?" gonna
I
do it?
was like, oh my God,
I
I'm
was
going to ding
keeping
her
the
because she's not.
suspense alive, you guys. I don't know if you heard, but a Texas man
Probably
was
not.
arrested and charged with stalking Caitlin Clark.
Oh, jeez.
And it is legit. This guy is a wacko.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yep.
But shout out to the fact that they arrested him and found
Yes.
him. Shout down
Yeah.
to the fact that this is life.
Paige Becker was
Stock
stalked,
too,
right?
Yes. Yep.
This is life.
This is life.
How sad is that? That this is the world we live
Yeah,
in, and
it's
we
sad.
could have a show called "This Is the World We Live In" and fill in the blank, and we would be on for hours.
And
Yeah.
you know, with like social media and all the new, it's just makes it that much easier.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you know, all those like professional athletes, their houses are being robbed.
Right? Yes.
Because people know
Happening a
that they're not,
ton.
Yeah.
because people know that they're not home.
They're not home.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is
So
awful.
it is. It's just.
I
sad
did not
that
hear
this
that,
is
and that
even
is awful.
coming.
And
Yeah.
shout downs like that
Yeah,
are worthy of
it's definitely a
strong shout down.
Shout down that
Yeah.
this is life right now.
It is.
And
It's sad.
that these stories are the ones that take precedent over the fact that Steph Curry invited these kids into the locker room because he didn't play in the game.
Yep.
There is so
So-
much good in sports, and then we hear
Yeah.
about the dark side.
Correct. Yes.
Wow, thanks for that. Thanks for
So-
that Pitt one. I did.
Yeah.
I immersed in high school sports. I
Right?
didn't catch any
I mean,
of that.
that's. It's just.
Yeah.
I did tune in last night when I got home from Linden in time to see John Calipari lose his fourth game in a row or third
wow.
game in a row in SEC play against LSU.
Oh, dang.
I was like, whoa.
Yikes.
Yeah. Those were good ones.
Yeah.
Good shout up, shout down all around
Yep.
to the dog of the week.
Real quick
Bum,
before
bum,
I do, Mark's in the house.
Hey, Mark.
He says, hello, did you enjoy the video I sent to...
Sent me the Dolphins video. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I will, Mark. I'm on the road all this week.
Yeah.
It's away games.
You literally have no life in the winter.
Well, I went to Williamstown, and then at least I'm at Spalding Friday for the boys' game.
Yeah.
And I'll get to when I give a quick recap of high school sports, the game I covered on Monday was amazing.
Mark says 73, baby.
Mark, I'm licking my wounds every year with the Dolphins, and you just keep going, and I kudos to you, my
impressive.
man.
Real quick before I do the doggy, look at what Wheels got me. Total sit show because you guys don't see it, but right before we go on, it is a total sit show.
Yeah,
That's why we have so much fun.
Yes.
I'm like, do I have any notes? What are you guys gonna do?
You
What
should
do
see
wanna
us
talk
before
about?
CB goes and we're live.
Mics.
We almost didn't have the mics on tonight.
There's always something, you guys, always.
That's what makes it fun.
But today's pick of the week is Tay Tay. She's 4 months old. She's probably older now because she's been with Golden Hugs for quite a while, for a few months at least. She's a confident point guard, and so she needs a confident coach. Experienced owner is required for her because she does tend to be a little, wants to do it her way. But she learns plays.
Right.
She learns plays quickly. She's smart. That's why she's probably so confident because she's so smart.
Is she a golden? What kind? I'm sorry.
She's a Heinz 57. Golden Hugs is doing a DNA test, so
way.
to be determined.
Wow.
Dum, dum, dum.
So unlike
Love it.
Sophie, who's wicked smart and is terrified of everything, Tay Tay is super smart, but is just anxious to get out there. She would do better in a house by herself or with another confident older dog. She does better with the bigger dogs than the smaller dogs. And then would do better. She loves to be in her gym, so she goes to her cage, her crate, and then she knows she's safe there.
That's safety.
So guys, she's been there for
Come on.
way too long. She's under a year old. She's in the New England area, so I'm not sure
Okay.
exactly where, but reach out to Golden Hugs, guys.
We still got to find that perfect
She's a
match
cutie.
for Sophie.
She's a cute. I know.
Yeah.
Maybe this spring.
I know. I just need a dopey, like a dopey lab or something like that.
You need a dopey bull lab. Yeah.
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 That's
what you
exactly
need.
what
Yep,
you need.
Because that was Timmy's type. Timmy was
Yep.
just dopey. He loved everyone. He was dumb as a bag of rocks. But
I don't think Bo's dumb.
No, he's very smart.
Yeah. He's definitely.
Timmy was dumb,
I mean,
so that's
he-
why he wasn't afraid of anything.
Yeah.
He has his prima donna moments, which
Yes.
is a golden thing, where
Yeah.
he's like, my head's down against something, my God, my life is hell. And I'm like, stop it. Let's just stop. But that's a golden thing.
Yeah.
They're just like, look at me, look how cute I am. Oh my God, my life is hell. But anyway, any more shouts?
We have one shout out,
Okay.
right?
Bring it on.
And Wheels will appreciate this too.
Oh.
Caitlin Clark.
Is it Caitlin Clark?
No, it is not. It is with all the sad stuff going on in America right now. It's really nice to see some good news for once.
Oh, yes.
Deshaun Watson tears his Achilles again, and so will definitely be out.
Thanks, Karen, for that one.
Right? Karen is just, man, she's vicious this week.
That's
I
just
love
too
it.
bad.
I
Couldn't
love
happen to a worse
God.
guy.
Karen. I love every
I
second
was
of it.
crying when I saw that text come through. I was like, oh my God. And
Yep.
yeah, I knew we knew, but that he had torn his Achilles. But
Yeah.
I'm like, it's true.
Yeah.
All the sad stuff going on. Here we go. Here's something that can raise your spirits. Sorry, that's just that's our point of view.
Right. Our opinion.
Our opinion. Thanks for that, CB. I'm going to give a quick rundown on just some scores. I won't go back to last week and some things going on in high school sports. But again, get out there and support high school sports. I know the weather's been cold.
Yeah.
You also got NFHS that carries a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
But I was calling a game on Monday at Williamstown, and it was the defending D3 champs, the Thetford Academy Panthers, going up against the Williamstown Blue Devils, coming in at 4-3, both powerhouses in their division. And the final score was 61-58.
Oh, good game.
Thetford was up by as many as 15.
Wow.
Nick Massetti and Evan Bailey took over in the third quarter for Williamstown, pulled to within 3. And that's when, unfortunately, our boy Nick fouled out.
Aw.
Different team without him
Yeah.
out there. Evan Bailey did all he could, and the rest of the Blue Devils. But it was Dempsey McGovern is a senior guard for Thetford. He had 6 3-pointers.
Wow.
Finishing with 26 or 28 points. I can't remember.
Wow.
But for me, as a broadcaster, putting a headset on, I have been around basketball as long as I can remember, whether it's player, coach, broadcasting. it was probably the prettiest basketball I have seen in a long time.
Nice.
At one point, I said to Brandon Walker, my sidekick, I'm like, where'd the last 8 minutes go? It was a track meet. They had 3 officials, thank God. Those 3 officials walked by our table afterwards, exhausted. It was just really, really good basketball. And Williamstown had this really nice 1-3-1 half-court trap. It was wonderful. Nick was at the front of it with his 7'2" wingspan.
Yeah.
But what Thetford did is put on a passing clinic. It was a 4-corner spread with a high post player. And the traps really couldn't get on them because of their just precise passing out. And the double team couldn't settle in much. And there was a lot of diagonal passes when you're cutting baseline in for a layup. It was just textbook for both teams. But if you want to watch a passing clinic, just go to NFHS and watch the. So this Friday night, I'll be calling the Spalding boys game at Spalding High School, where they will be hosting the Thetford Academy Panthers.
So you get to see that.
So I get to see it one more time, and just, you know, they're the Division III champs for a reason.
Right.
They certainly could repeat. So that was the score, what did I say, 61-58. The Harwood boys over U32 local sports, 61-43. That puts the Harwood Highlanders at 6-1 on the season. They are visiting the Spalding Crimson Tide tonight, who sit about a game or two behind them. So big game for Spalding tonight and on Friday. The Spalding girls, they had a huge win on Saturday up at Milton. Milton was undefeated at the time, 38-33, following up with a big win at Linden last night, 66-39. The U32 Raider girls with a heartbreaking loss last night, 42-36 against Lake Region, but that sets up a huge rival battle tomorrow night.
Yes, it does.
At U32, tip-off is 7 p.m. between the 3 and 4 U32 Raiders and the 5 and 3 Spalding Crimson Tide. And
I will be there.
That will be a fun game up at U32, so a big shout out to both of those squads playing some really good ball right now. Hockey. I'm going to give a shout out to U32 boys hockey, where a hat trick by U32 senior Maddox Heiss, we've said his name quite a bit, became the 10th player in U32 program to reach the 60 goal mark for his career during a 5-2 victory over Burlington. That puts the Raiders to 7-1.
Wow.
Down up the 89 a little bit, the Harwood boys hockey team came away with an 8-4 win over Stowe. They are also 7-1 on the season. Another game for the Harwood girls last night, a loss to Lamoille. That drops the Harwood girls basketball team to 5-2, 57-41 loss to Lamoille. And the Lamoille Lancers are undefeated, sitting as the 1 seed right now in Division II. So that's a quick look at some local high school sports. I want to give a huge shout out to going down south with this shout out to Peyton Guay, who is a senior finally. There's just some players that you go,
agree.
My God, when are they going to graduate? That is with the utmost respect, Peyton Guay. A senior at West Rutland High School, where I think they're going for a 4-peat this year. I'm pretty sure they're going for a 4-peat. So they've won the state championship all of her seasons. But Wheels, you said 30 points away?
30 points away.
30 points away. She should get it possibly this Friday, who knows, against White River Valley, from breaking the all-time state record held by Jade Huntington. Yes, that is correct. Oxbow's Jade Huntington, but the coach at St. Johnsbury Academy, whose team is also undefeated in Division I so far this year. They will be playing tonight CVU, the defending Division I champs. But Jade Huntington owns the record. She played for Oxbow with 2,114 points in her 4-year high school career.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
So Peyton is 30 points away from 2,000.
From
2,000.
Not breaking
Not
it by
breaking
hitting
record, but
2,000.
hitting 2,000.
Okay,
But
still.
so now we're going to
Yeah,
backtrack a
still,
little.
I
She
mean,
will break it.
She will break it.
She will
It's
break
just not
it.
going to be in the next game.
I mean, 2,114.
That's insane.
That's
I just
I can't even. I mean, the Huntingtons were just like the athletic ability of the two of them was just
Jazz and Jade.
Yeah.
And Coach Mona Garone was a
Right?
legend who has an award named after her that
Yep.
the refs give away every year, the Mona Garone Sportsmanship Award.
Because I played against Jazz, not Jade. So
Oh, I didn't play against either, obviously, but I got to coach against Mona one time, and she's as cool as they come.
Yeah.
I was scared to death. Scared to death.
Yeah.
And you want to know the amazing thing about a coach like that? Who knows how long she coached? 30 plus years. How many state championships are we
Yeah.
talking? A dozen,
Yeah.
8 dozen, whatever. I was an average player at Montpelier High School. So when I started my career, I was a JV coach at Harwood. We were over at Oxbow. She came up to shake my hand, and she just said, "Good to see you in the ranks, Montpelier High School, early 80s." And I'm like, I was a nobody.
wow.
You know,
Yeah,
but she
that's
never
awesome.
forgot a face. And
Right.
this was
amazing.
me. Shook her hand and said, "I'll never wash my hand again." Anyway,
That's amazing.
yeah, just a legend, just somebody I so look up to, and was just such a mentor. Want to give a shout out to it was just released, the Twin State soccer roster for the 2025 Lions Cup. And I'm going to give some local shout outs from U32, Alex Pickle and Clara Wilson. From Spalding High School, Molly Moran and Taylor Keel.
Nice.
And from Harwood Union, Briley Rutledge. On the boys' side, Thomas Mills and Clayton Foster from Montpelier High School. And Matt Fischetti and Jack Greenwood from Harwood. So we are represented well here in
nice.
Central Vermont for the 2025 Lions Cup.
I just have one more shout out
Yeah,
for high
go.
school sports.
Yep.
Do
Since
it
we were
up.
talking about West Rutland, just down the road a little bit, the Otter Valley boys basketball team is on a tear. They are
Nice.
7-1.
Damn.
They just beat Middlebury last night. They call Otter Valley the House of Noise. The place was packed.
really?
Yes, that's what the
I
gym
gotta
is
go
called.
there for a game.
Is called the House of Noise.
Dang.
All the photos I saw, the place was packed. They do a theme night every night. Last night was frat night. So everybody had backwards hats on and all this stuff. They do
That
a
is
blackout.
amazing.
Every
That's amazing.
home game for the girls and boys, there's a theme. There's pajama night, there's blackout,
fun.
That's amazing.
It's pretty
That's so
cool.
fun.
It's pretty cool.
Oh my
And these
God.
boys, I tell you what, we don't talk a lot about Otter Valley because they are down, way down. But 7-1, and
They were at the
Otter-
Odd last year.
they
right?
were at the Odd last
I
year.
remember
and
looking at you across the Odd floor.
And I
They're
have
fun.
a very good feeling that they're going to be back.
Nice.
They
So-
are fun.
They are a
So
fun team to watch.
They really are.
Yep. And then we have a couple of shout outs over here.
Excellent. Love it.
They vary across it. Jen says, Unrivaled starts Friday, guys.
Nice.
Some
That
W-
is so true.
Some
Morgan Rogers will
WNBA in
let
the
me know
off
that.
season. Also, less than 30 days to college softball.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Almost that
so
time of
fast.
year.
That is so fast.
Jen, I
So
always
fast.
forget. I always
always
go,
forget too.
It's the dead of winter here
Yeah.
in Vermont, so
Yeah.
I forget about softball. in
I'm
the
really
South.
interested to see how Unrivaled goes.
Yes.
Me too. Me
Edward
as well.
Fulner says, Queensbury Parton shout out to Shay Canavan hitting 1,000 points in varsity basketball.
Very nice.
Love that.
Queensbury,
For the
New York.
Spartans.
I lived there, close to there for
Oh, Spartans, not Partons.
Queensbury Spartans. Yes.
And then Mark says Dempsey is also a good baseball player and umpire. He's a good kid.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it. I'm going to do a few things that I've heard in
Mm-hmm.
the last week that just kind of make me giggle. To hear
scream.
from Jerry Jones is truly delightful. Sorry, I can't say that with a straight face.
I'm like, is that what you heard from someone?
To hear from Jerry Jones is truly delightful and it's intriguing, Deion Sanders said. I love Jerry and believe in Jerry after you hang up and process it, meaning their phone call, and think about it. It's intriguing. But I love Boulder, and everything there is about our team, the coaches, our student body, and the community. I would literally like to put to rest that Deion Sanders is not going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't think he is either.
Nope.
And then Deion went on to say,
I would
and
run.
you know how you see
Not
things and you're
look
like,
back.
I'm not sure if this is true or not. Shedeur Sanders is reportedly not permitted to play for the New York Jets.
Well, yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
going to pull an Eli Manning anyway.
Yep.
Right, and we've talked about that.
Yep.
That makes the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets as two franchises that Deion Sanders reportedly won't allow, and this is in caps, his son to play for.
I mean, valid.
Right? I don't blame
Valid.
him. I don't blame him.
Shador is a forbidden fruit that shouldn't have to go just anywhere he is picked. Forbidden fruit? I don't know if I believe that one, but that's
not the-
supposedly from Dion as well.
But I think he mixed his metaphors.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So right along with that, CB's going to pop something up a little ahead of where I was going to do it originally, but I think it's time.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Mike McCarthy fired. Jerry Jones hires Dion. Cowboys trade for the #1 pick and Shador. Dallas fans say this is our year, and Cowboys miss the playoffs for the next year.
Love it.
I mean, everybody's
Tale
thinking that.
as old as time.
Love it.
I mean,
Love
is
it.
not everybody thinking that? Because
Yeah.
it is now as the Jerry turns.
Yeah.
And we're all not on the edge of our seats,
Yeah.
but intrigued.
I am
will
very,
admit it. I'm
very intrigued who
Yeah.
the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys is going to
Same.
be. Because kudos to Mike McCarthy for running
Getting
out
out.
that door and not
Yeah.
turning back.
Yeah.
Like, get out.
And the thing is, Mike has a hot market, believe
does.
it or not.
I know.
So he knew
Wild.
why stay here.
It is wild. It is wild.
And do you guys agree that whatever Jerry put out there, if
It was probably a slap in the face.
was a
yeah.
slap in the face, or was Mike just not going to accept anything and they mutual parting of the ways? Because I think McCarthy wanted out.
I don't blame him if he did.
No, yeah.
Like,
It's,
Because the Saints and the Bears are really hot
Yeah,
on his trail.
they are.
And I didn't realize this, but he came from the Saints organization.
I didn't know that either. I learned that the other day.
Almost like going home
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
no pressure.
Right.
right.
You're rebuilding there.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he's okay with that,
Right.
Yep.
then
I think that's what he needs, honestly.
Yeah,
I
just a
agree.
restart. Just restart
Yeah.
it. Be
I
it on
agree.
his terms.
Another thing I heard after Monday night's game is Sam Darnold has a special place in my heart because of the way he played this season. But it was also acknowledged that Darnold wasn't good enough in the closing games of the season. I just want to say it's very important we all think about Sam's body of work, what he was able to do this year, when not many people thought he would be able to lead a team to 14 wins.
Yep.
So stinking true.
Valid. Yep.
And this comes from his coach, Kevin O'Connell. It did not work out in the end, and I think Sam would be the first to tell you that. Could he have played better tonight? I'm sure he would tell you he could have. Could I have coached better? I positively could have. The guy's a class act.
He is.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's a class act. Sam Darnold was probably in line to get a contract extension from Minnesota
Yep.
before those two games.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to now.
No.
No.
Because JJ is waiting in the wings.
Yes.
Do you guys think he's offered a starting gig? Is everybody going to look at, like
Right.
Kevin O'Connell says, the body of work
Right.
throughout this season?
Right.
Because none of us thought he was going to win 14
No, he
games.
definitely exceeded
None of us.
any of our. Well, you
Far
thought he
exceeded.
was going to have it, like, we would be surprised by him.
Yeah,
Yep.
because he has Kevin O'Connell and a good supporting cast.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, but he
Yep.
far exceeded any expectations.
And I think that's what makes it easier.
Right.
Literally,
Right.
there was no expectations
Right.
for him, so he can go into any game and just do what he wants. Like he
Right.
was just overthinking it because the pressure was finally on.
Right.
Right.
And he was just holding the ball.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it got, and you could see him on the sidelines, even though we as fans knew the game was over, even late in that third quarter.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get back out there and prove himself. The look on his face was like, I got to get out there,
Yeah,
I got to get
yeah.
out there. Because he still thought he was going to pull it out, which,
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Good guy. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. Is he? I mean, is he going to be like Baker Mayfield in the next place he goes?
Right.
He's gonna,
We don't-
he's gonna
yeah.
earn
Right.
year after year after year. I mean, when Baker went to Tampa, we were all like, "Oh yeah, you're following Tom Brady. Like, good luck, Baker.
Yeah,
like, you
good
haven't done
luck.
shit."
Right.
Because you went to Carolina,
Right.
you're there and everywhere.
But
you were
now
the
look at
Rams for a hot-
him.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely the quarterback of that franchise for the next few years,
Yes.
easily.
Yep.
So is
I love
that
him.
what's going to happen to Sam? I mean, I don't think he'll be back in Minnesota, but
Let me ask
that's
you
me.
this, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself talking NFL because I said we wouldn't do that till the second half. But Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator of the
love him.
Lions, hot. The Raiders are hot on the trail of Coach Johnson. I think Tom Brady is trying to sell the
Yes.
Raiders
Oh, yeah.
organization. We know what Ben Johnson is as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Would Sam Darnold be a good fit in Raiderland with Ben Johnson?
Right.
Just something to think
Yeah.
I mean, that would be fun.
Something to think
That would
about.
be fun. Yeah.
Something to think about. Before we get into full-blown NFL, we do have to talk college football.
Do
we
we?
are down to 2.
Do we?
And we're down to the 5th and 6th seed.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 were gone anyways, weren't they, before
Yeah.
the semis? That Notre Dame Penn State game was one for the ages.
It was
Yeah, that was a
awesome.
great game. That was a great game.
It
freaking
was. It gave me chills
fabulous.
the
Yeah.
whole.
Yep.
It was awesome.
I could
Were
not
you just
believe
not
it.
like-
I couldn't
Yep,
believe
the whole
it.
time. I didn't want to get up and go to the bathroom. I didn't want to leave. Nothing. I was like,
One for the ages.
Yep.
Yep.
It was amazing.
And Ohio State and Texas.
It was
just-
not.
No, the complete opposite.
The complete opposite.
It was not. And when the CFP rankings came out and we talked about Alabama not being in it, and they didn't deserve to be in it, but we were hot on that as our number one topic. All I kept thinking in the back of my head was, God, Ohio State is ranked like 6.
Yeah.
So weird.
Nobody wants to play them.
No.
I know they lost to Michigan, but they're going to put it in their rearview mirror, and they're now in the CFP, and they're just going to. I literally, it kept gnawing away at the back of my brain. Ohio State's going to win this thing.
Yeah.
And this was before they even beat Oregon.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then they beat Texas, and
Handedly.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even a game.
I do want to read one more quote though, because I'm a big Marcus Freeman fan.
I love him.
Really, really am. Freeman is making history of his own. He is now the first black coach to lead his team into a Division I college football national title game.
Let's go.
Which is
Long overdue.
It's
Let's
so
go.
overdue. It's crazy to think that he's the first.
Right.
because they haven't been given enough damn chances.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
And this is quotes from him. I've said this before. I don't ever want to take attention away from this team. I love this guy. It's an honor, and I hope all coaches, minorities, black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter, great people, continue to get opportunities to lead young men like this. But this ain't about me. This is about us. We're going to celebrate what we've done because it's so special. I get chills every
Yeah.
time I read that. It's like the 6th time I have read it. There needs to be more chances in the coaching ranks for
Yeah.
minorities.
Yeah.
And I love that he puts it out there and he doesn't want to take any attention away from his team.
Nope.
Class freaking act. With that being said, what do we think the Fighting Irish chances are?
My
on
heart is
Monday
with
night?
them, man.
What's the spread?
That I don't
yeah,
know.
what is, yeah.
I will say that I'm looking at 5 players that factor into this game. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith,
Yep.
the receiver from Ohio State. The Texas Longhorns did a good job double teaming
They did a
him.
great job. He was not a factor at all.
So Notre Dame plays a lot of man coverage. Obviously, Texas rolled double coverage his way. Before that game against Texas, his stat line for the previous 2 games before Texas,
Was stupid.
13 catches, 290 yards, and 4 touchdowns in 2 games. Texas did a solid
They did
job
amazing.
on him.
Yep.
Notre Dame has a good defense. They go heavy man coverage. They're going to have to roll double coverage his way.
They're going to have to.
There's other stuff that has to be done, but they're going to have to roll it.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, Texas put a blueprint out there
Yeah.
to try to
You have to
take
have somebody
Smith
else
out.
beat you besides Smith.
Jack Sawyer, the defensive end for Ohio State's a beast.
yes, he is.
He's got like 5 sacks, I think, in the CFP games. They got to stop him.
Yep.
And Riley Leonard, he's inconsistent.
He is.
It's not pretty,
No.
but he's a classic game manager.
Yeah.
Can I call him that? You guys agree with me?
yeah.
And he runs well. He hits the big. He makes the big pass when he
you
has
need
to.
it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he needs to. Yeah.
I mean,
He
did
gets
it
himself
2 or
to that
3
situation,
oh,
though.
God, like he puts himself in that
That's also
situation.
true. But
There was a 4th down in that game against Penn State where I'm like, he's going to run because he's a very good
Yeah.
out of the pocket runner. And he dropped back, and I'm like, oh my God, he's freaking going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And he completed it. It was a huge play. He needs to play better.
yes, he does. He needs to have the game of his life.
He does.
He has to.
Spread is 8.5.
Wow.
Spread is 8.5. jeez.
Yep.
My other one is Jeremiah Love, who is the running back for Notre Dame. He's had that gnawing knee injury.
Yep.
So now with the extra rest, Love needs to be all in. He
Yep.
has to be a beast in that game. And I know we're putting a lot of if variables out there because we're putting it on Love and Leonard. But Marcus Freeman can coach the hell out of young men.
Yep.
He really honestly can. Anybody picking Notre Dame?
I mean, I'm not going to pick them.
I mean, I'll take the 8.5
I'm not gonna put money on the money line.
No. I want them to win so badly with all of my heart. Do I
Same.
want them to win?
Same.
But we're all going Ohio
But we're all,
State.
yeah.
They're just
Playing their best ball
right now, yeah.
when it said it's now CFP time.
Yep.
Here's
Yep.
the rankings, and they said, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. A shout out for CB. Roki Sasaki has said the Mets are out, the Yankees are out, and we're down to the Dodgers and the Padres.
shocking.
The F.
Shocking. Literally all the he might as well just say I'm going the Dodgers.
Right. Like, why put the other team in there?
Right. Just all the
Padres have a chance.
all the Japanese players are going to Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's just going to be basically a Japanese national team.
Right.
And didn't they just get a Korean player?
I knew that I would get her wound
Yeah.
up if the Dodgers did.
Yeah.
The Dodgers,
Dodgers got a Korean player,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They're just going to
Yes.
take all the East Asians.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say he signs with the Padres.
You want to put money in that? I'm just kidding.
Let's have a
Listen,
little,
guys,
let's have a fun little side
CB's a
bet.
little bitter because Saquon didn't score a touchdown, so she needs to make some money somehow.
Man. I was doing so well. And I was like, oh yeah, I got him.
We're going to give a big shout out to CB, who won the 6-pack of picks at this
Well done,
season.
CB. Well done.
Shocked.
I'm sorry, you had something to
Mark
say.
says I will pick them. I'm guessing the Notre
Dame?
I
All right,
like underdogs.
Way to go.
Me too, Mark, and I love the team.
And he also says, write this down next year. Will be Miami's year. I will remind you in 2026 February.
The University of Miami or the Miami Dolphins?
Well, the University of Miami just got Carson Beck, so
Right? What? That was a soap opera.
like it
Him and
lasted.
his TikTok girlfriend.
Right, it lasted
yes.
what 13
Yes.
minutes before he.
What the heck? I'm going to the NFL. I'm going in the transfer portal. Oh, my TikTok girlfriend plays at Miami.
Yeah.
We all know you're going to Miami.
Yep.
Yeah.
Within like one day, it was over. I was like,
I'm just kind of speechless there.
Mark says, laugh out loud.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. He thinks he's going to go to Miami and have the same year that Cam Ward had. Let's see. We'll see.
I mean,
We'll see.
I don't know.
I don't think he's the same. He's not the same type of quarterback that
No,
Cam Ward
right.
is. He really is not. CB, very impressive.
Very
because
impressive,
Last
CB.
year, I know I won last year, but we were all bouncing all over the place the last 6 weeks. You were in the lead. You were. You literally the last 6, 8 weeks.
yeah, she's been
last
ahead the
6,
whole
8
time.
weeks.
Yeah.
74, 70, and 68. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Good job, CB.
Very, very impressive. You guys are going to laugh at me, though, as we do a little kind of a semi-wrap on the NFL season, talk about Wild Card Weekend. I looked back on our division and Wild Card
Oh my
prediction.
Yes.
Oh my god.
You guys know I love my little spreadsheet. I don't let them
so
go.
bad.
So bad.
So,
It's going to be real
and
awkward.
guys, we just have fun with it. We have fun with it. So, in the AFC East, you guys are going to laugh. CB picked the Bills to win. Wheels and I picked the Jets. We picked the Jets.
that
We
makes
picked
sense.
The Jets.
Yeah, that makes sense. What were you thinking?
CB picked the Jets to be a wild card
did.
team. I picked the Bills to be a wild card team.
Okay.
So way too much, and we don't even like the Jets.
We hate them so
what
much.
the-
We hate them so much.
Oh my god.
We just had Aaron Rodgers coming back from his Achilles
And thinking he was
and
going to
being-
be.
and being God. And
Wow.
shame on
That's
us.
exactly. Shame on us for going with the hype.
Oh my God. So in the AFC North, which we all said was the toughest division, which I think we still kind of agree on, to win it, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals.
Wow, we were all
Good job,
different.
Wheels.
Yeah.
Because the
Good
Ravens
job,
ended
Wheels.
up winning it. We all had wild cards, though. CB and I had the Ravens as a wild card. CB Wheels had the Steelers. You had the Bengals, but I had the Bengals as a wild card team. I mean, you and I were pretty
Yeah.
much in on the Bengals. We all picked the Texans. There. Yeah, yes, in the South. And no wild card team. So double kudos.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
I mean,
South is terrible.
We didn't believe in the Colts, the Jags, or the Titans.
No.
And we all picked the Chiefs. Okay, we
What a
redeemed
shocker.
ourselves.
What a
Okay, we did
way to go
not
out on a
redeem
limb.
ourselves.
We went out on a limb, you guys.
Mark says Benny and the Jets, good call.
Yes, exactly. On the NFC side of
Oh,
things,
jeez.
This is ugly.
This is
we all
bad.
picked the Eagles.
Oh.
Okay.
I forgot I picked them.
We all picked the Eagles to win the East.
Well, dang.
But
Did you pick the Washington Commanders as a wild card? No.
but we all picked the Cowboys as a wild
Oh.
card.
Yeah.
I put all three.
I thought I picked
I'm
the
like, dang
Commanders
it.
for some
I
reason.
thought someone did.
I thought,
I didn't. Maybe I didn't write it down correctly.
no, I'm sure you're right.
I don't know.
Mark says on my sheet I picked them all correctly.
We all picked the Lions. Okay.
Okay, good.
None of us
calling
are in on the Vikings. We all picked the Packers as a wild card team.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We all picked the Falcons.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. Because we
mean,
jumped on her bandwagon.
I thought that was
We
just
did.
me.
We really
I'm like,
did.
what the hell? We all did?
How did she talk us into that, Wheels?
We definitely jumped on her
I'm
wagon.
like, wait, that should have just been Chet picking the
Yeah.
Falcons,
No.
not CB and Wheels. So we all picked the Falcons. We've
my
all
gosh.
learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have all learned. We have all learned.
Mark
Okay,
said I
I-
fill them in after the game is over.
And of course, in the West, you two picked the 49ers to win the West. I picked
Real
the
bad.
Rams.
Yeah, well done.
Good for you.
But then we would reverse it. You guys picked the Rams as a wild card. I picked the 49ers. So the biggest flop of the season was the 49ers.
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
absolutely. Hands down.
and we'll
Also,
just
Mark.
give it to the Jets. We're just going to give it to the Jets on the AFC side.
Mark, smart. He
What's
says
his-
that's why I never get them wrong.
True.
I just had to laugh about the Falcons,
And the
the
Jets.
Jets, and I get the 49ers. My only good pick was the Rams. And I will say this, after Wild Card Weekend,
We didn't do horrible, by the way.
no.
That wasn't as bad as I had thought.
My memory
No.
was much different than
Yeah,
that.
mine was too.
And you know, the AFC North, we were also in on it, and the Bengals were right there.
Yes.
God damn, win a game in the first 6 weeks
Right?
or something. and
Literally, like I
we
said,
wouldn't
they
have
just
been.
needed that one win against the
One win.
Patriots.
One win.
God.
That first game.
So we titled the show "What Went Wrong," and we're going to dedicate that to what went wrong to the Wild Card Weekend
Oh my
teams,
God.
because
What a snooze fest.
we have all been around football probably our whole lives.
Yep.
We're big
Yeah.
NFLers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Worst weekend, opening weekend.
oh,
of
the worst.
Yeah, there was
Wild Card
no
weekend
competitive
of
game.
NFL
They
playoffs,
were
whatever.
so boring.
Yeah.
The only good game was Sunday night.
Yeah.
Tampa and Washington
Yep.
went down to a last-second field goal, and that game was so good. And I did not miss a beat of that game, and I love both teams. But I found myself so
By Mark.
heartbroken by Tampa losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. The look on Baker's face.
It was kind of like a 50-50 because I do
Yep.
like Baker, but like I was rooting for one of the LA teams
Yes.
to
Yeah.
make it because
Yes.
of everything. And shout out to Arizona for doing everything
Oh
they
my
did
gosh,
for,
yeah, for sure.
both of those,
Yep.
for the teams. So
And the Commanders are for real, man.
They are.
That
yo,
kid is
I
fun.
picked them.
That
I just said.
kid is freaking fun to watch.
Yeah.
He is.
He really is.
I'm
And
so
Dan
excited.
Quinn is squeezing out of that defense what he can squeeze
Yeah.
out because
Yeah.
he's an outstanding
Yep.
head coach and D coach too, defensive coordinator as well. Cliff Kingsbury, I know he's up for a lot of head coaching gigs, but he went public quickly and said, it would be really hard for me to leave this
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
He's special and he's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kingsbury knows he has to learn. He flamed out in Arizona.
He did.
And he got no help because Kyler Murray, we're
Yeah,
not
no.
going to go there. But he's learning a lot. He's working with Dan Quinn, and he knows what it's like to have a franchise quarterback
Right.
to work with.
Yeah.
And that game was so freaking good. What was the first game on Saturday? Houston and the Chargers?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the most disappointing
So
game.
Awful.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert
Yep.
played like he does when he's on my fantasy team. That's
He
exactly
struggled.
what he played like. I was
He
like,
struggled
you are
mightily.
wearing white, buddy.
Yep.
White with the white uniforms.
How many
today.
interceptions did he
4.
throw? 4?
Oh, yeah.
I had
He
5
had
in
3
my
all
head,
year.
but- Right.
3 all year.
Because
4.
Harbaugh has coached him up and take care of
Yeah.
the ball, and what happened?
What
Yep.
happened?
Exactly. What happened?
What happened?
And where's that Texas team been for the last
Yeah,
4
where's
weeks?
that
I'm
defense
like-
been?
Yeah.
Because we all talk about Texans' offense. It's their
Right.
defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see them? Did they have a chance against
No.
Kansas City? Is that the only way I can say this?
Yeah,
Do
I
they
don't
have
think
a
so.
Prayer?
No.
I want. My
We
heart
want
says,
to.
my heart
want
says
to.
I mean, of
them
course,
to.
we want them to
Especially
win.
Sorry, Mama
especially-
Wheels.
I
Don't
know.
get mad.
Somewhere my mom is throwing stuff at our podcast.
But also,
right now.
especially because it's CJ. We're all big
Yep.
CJ fans.
Right.
Love Stroud.
Right.
Love Coach Ryans. Love him.
Yeah.
Love him. And he'll coach the hell out of that Texans team. I really wanted the seedings to set up that when we got to the semis, that Kansas City had to play Baltimore or Buffalo. And if they got by, had to play the other,
The other
one.
one.
Yeah.
Right.
The fact that Baltimore and Buffalo have to play
Right.
Is
this
gonna
weekend.
Be, that's
right
going to
here.
be the game of this postseason.
game of the postseason right here.
The whole postseason.
and that is the last game on Sunday.
6:30 Sunday.
6:30 on CBS. The
Thankfully,
Rams
it's not at 8.
and the Phillies. Yeah.
Thank you, NFL, for
Right.
putting them at a decent time.
Thank you. Christy's in the house.
Hey,
she says
Christy.
amazing weekends of games.
Can't wait.
TJ
I
would
can't
be
wait.
eaten alive by Kansas City.
We agree. We don't
Yeah.
want to agree, though.
No.
There goes our shoulders rounded.
Yeah.
Denver did what I thought was going to
Yeah,
happen
yeah,
to Denver.
yeah.
But a young team. Young
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Great defense. And
Again, exceeded expectations.
Yep.
Far exceeded them.
And that's the first time in how many years that they've made it to
Right,
the playoffs?
right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
you know.
And there was a show on ESPN, I don't know what NFL show it was, preseason, that was picking the Chargers. And I'm like, what? Not Denver, but they were picking the Chargers. And I'm like, nah, that ain't going to happen. Yes, Coach Harbaugh, you are the man.
Yeah.
You really are the man.
Yeah.
But we, as I said, when I looked at our predictions, we all picked the Chiefs because we thought the weakest division
Right.
is the AFC West.
Yep.
That is now the strongest division.
Yeah.
We're going to next preseason go, holy crap, that AFC
we-
West.
yeah.
Right.
Did we
Yeah.
think 3 teams were going to
No,
go to the playoffs?
definitely
not at all. Not at all.
We didn't even choose one
No,
as
it's-
a wild card.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Kansas City, it's
Yeah.
not going to be a cakewalk
No.
from here on out. It really isn't. We knew Baltimore and that Steeler game, unfortunately, was going to go the way
Yep.
it went.
Yeah.
My sister stopped watching after it was 14-0. I don't blame you, sis. I saw the score on the bottom line and said, I guess I'm not tuning in. So, yeah, it was a rough weekend, but now it sets up.
It's going to be a good
It sets
weekend
up
this
the
weekend.
Yes.
Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is exciting. And as you look at that Elite Eight, the team that just sticks out to me is the Commanders, though, that we did not see happening here.
Correct.
So what went wrong, though? What do we think the teams that are out, Pittsburgh, Denver, Tampa, Minnesota, Green Bay, and the LA Chargers, and Green Bay another one, they just had too many injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not giving
Yeah.
up on them.
I don't think Philly won that game more so as Green Bay played terrible.
Yeah.
They
It was a-
absolutely. I didn't think
yeah.
the Eagles played great, to be honest.
No.
Right. They lost Dobbs.
Yeah.
But
Reed
yeah,
went
it was
out.
a
Reed,
physical
shoulder.
game. It
Yeah.
was a physical game.
Once Dobbs went out and Reed went out, concussion and shoulder, I'm like,
Yeah. They
who are
had.
you gonna throw
Yeah.
to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of those teams that we're talking about, that what went wrong this past weekend, do you see those teams returning to the playoffs next year? As we look into our crystal ball, if we look at the first one, Pittsburgh, what is the most glaring need for the Steelers? I think it's the quarterback.
Me
Well,
too.
yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
100%. 100%.
You're in a division that has gunslingers.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
You got
Joe
Joe
Burrow.
Burrow.
Yeah.
We won't talk about the Browns. And I like Coach Tomlin because the other rumor is
Yeah, well-
all these teams are going to trade for Coach Mike Tomlin.
Right.
That's
I
the
was gonna
biggest
say-
rumor this
I was
past
going to
week.
say, I was like, how do the Steelers fans feel about him? Because
Right.
they've been one and out, one and
Yep.
done for
the last 2
Yeah.
seasons.
He hasn't won a playoff game in a long time.
Right.
And I would love to have Coach Mike Tomlin on the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it, but there's
Yeah.
2 sides to this story.
Yeah.
He relies on a blue collar defense, but now we're watching not a lot of playmakers.
No.
Najee Harris is a free agent that they already didn't pick up his.
Extension.
Yeah, so he's gone.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if he was back. George Pickens can't be a number one. He's
No.
not an alpha receiver.
No.
No.
He complains too much anyway.
Their best receiver is probably Freiermuth, the tight
Yeah.
end. Jalen Warren can't stay healthy. So is it the quarterback? Do we bring Russell Wilson back? If not, then you're starting from scratch again.
Right.
I don't think they bring him back.
So Fields and Wilson, gone.
I just think that Fields would want to go someplace else.
I would
Yep.
think so too. Like the New York Giants, Justin
Right?
Fields.
Right?
I know,
York
you, I
Giants.
know you guys have
Giant-
already
looking up,
have
looking up,
Justin Fields
looking up.
and Travis Hunter in Giant uniforms.
Justin Fields
I know.
throwing to Hunter and Neighbors. Come on.
Right, come
right?
on, looking
I
up.
agree.
It's looking up.
Come on.
I agree. So the Steelers could run the risk of having to start over.
Yeah.
But they need a quarterback. They need more playmakers.
Yeah.
They're a very good drafting organization. So we'll see. Denver's not far off.
No.
No.
They're a few offensive players away. I think
agree.
their defense is great.
Yeah.
Defense is
Yeah,
amazing.
it's amazing.
And-
So
yeah,
they're
there's
and
the
that's gonna
Orange
get it.
Crush.
yeah, they're just a
So
few
I agree.
offensive.
And then you give Nick another year.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, you got Cortland Sutton. You need somebody else.
Yep.
Figure out who your running back is and stick with that running
Yeah.
back. You can have a third down back that he can drop the ball to. But you did a great job in the draft, Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bo Nix, we all were like, what are you doing?
Christy says, "Fuck the Giants," but best of luck. I mean, honestly, that most of the time that's how we feel.
Right. That's how we feel
Right?
99% of the time.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
Again, we wholeheartedly agree.
Yes.
Tampa is still Tampa.
Yeah.
They're gonna be. Yeah, they're gonna.
They need to spend some draft picks on the defensive side of the
Yeah.
ball. Chris Godwin could be back. He might not be back.
Yeah.
I think he's a free agent, but Jalen McMillan, that rookie
Yeah,
receiver,
he's good.
is
He's so.
solid.
Oh my gosh.
So
he's
you got
fast.
Jalen McMillan and Bucky Irving that were rookies
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Vikings, I don't know. They got
I think it
the,
depends.
the offensive line needs to be beefed
It
up.
does.
Yeah.
But now you're throwing a.
rookie.
Rookie.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it,
Yeah.
So that one's tough.
It's yeah.
So we're saying we're on the fence with the Vikings. We're almost saying no about Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denver and Tampa were good. Green Bay, can't figure
I
them
think
out.
if they're healthy,
Annie
then
Agar
yes.
can't figure them
no,
out
Annie
either.
Agar is ready to pull her
Jordan
hair out.
Love, like I can't figure out.
Rough year
I
for
can't.
Jordan.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
was.
figure out Jordan Love.
They need
Yeah.
to stay healthy.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't
Yeah.
have a bad defense. I kind of like their defense,
Me
but
too, Christy.
they need to stay healthy.
Yes.
And you've got a lot of playmakers, but you got Christian Watson. What was it? ACL tear, I think, a week or two ago. Dobbs can't stay healthy. Reed, they underutilize Reed. I like Tucker Kraft, the tight end.
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs was a stud
He's a
this year.
beast. He
So
is a
you-
beast.
Maybe we get a alpha receiver
Yeah.
in there. I'm not ready to give up on Green
No,
Bay.
not
No.
yet.
No.
And the LA Chargers, the only concern there, they do need a receiver. Lad McConkey was
Oh, he was
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is Wes Walker part 2
Yeah.
or 3 and Julian Edelman. Justin Herbert is 0-2 in the playoffs. And like you said, he threw 3 interceptions
Yep.
all
All
year
year.
and 4. So Harbaugh's got to,
Yeah.
he's got to work his magic a little bit more, which I think is just sitting down and talking to the young
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So, and that literally was one of the worst wild card weekends.
Oh,
I
God, it was awful.
can
I agree.
remember. So as we look ahead, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit, though, about the coaching carousel. The worst kept secret was Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Shocker.
was just, I'm like,
Shocking.
oh, hey, cool.
Yeah.
Kraft must have just, because you have to go through the interview process, but we all knew. Now they're saying Josh McDaniels will be coming back possibly as the offensive coordinator.
Oh, wow.
So
he
it's
just can't get away from there.
All right.
right. So it's
Right.
Bill Belichick's old staff.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was the worst kept secret. Mike McCarthy, we talked about briefly. I wouldn't be surprised if he's with the Saints. I really would.
If I'm him, well, I don't know. If it's between Chicago and New Orleans, Chicago has the quarterback.
Right.
You have your
Right.
so-called franchise quarterback. Or New Orleans, which, what the hell are you going to do at quarterback? Like,
Right.
right.
like Derek Carr, I think he's done. They have nobody there.
right.
No.
So
They have said they're not giving up on Derek Carr, but he can't stay healthy.
I mean,
So-
how many years have I not given up on Derek Carr?
Love the guy.
I think it's time. I think it's time for me
How
Yeah.
old is Derek
to
Carr?
just be done with Derek Carr.
I agree.
I just don't think he's going to do it.
So Ben Johnson, as I already alluded to, the Raiders are putting on a full court press,
Yeah.
and it's led by Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So that one will be interesting because Ben Johnson has already said, I need to go somewhere where there's a quarterback in place.
Yeah.
There's no quarterback.
Nope.
So that one's going to be fun to watch.
Right.
And where Ben Johnson ends up is going to be intriguing. No one wants to go to the Jets, though.
I mean,
Does
would
anybody-
you?
No.
No.
I mean, like, who is going to coach the Jets?
Yeah.
You know
Nobody
who
wants
wants
to.
Wait. Jen,
There
are you
is
still
one.
here? Are you still here? Use my trash gift.
Rex Ryan.
Yes, he
Yes,
does.
he
Ryan.
does. Yes.
And he's not going to treat Aaron Rodgers like he's a prima donna.
No.
And he probably wouldn't.
Is
I
Aaron
believe
Rodgers
him.
even going to be there?
No, I think he's
he's
that's
done.
the
I think
question.
he's
done as
done.
well. Yes.
Right now, Robert Salah
Yeah.
is the leading name I'm hearing for Jacksonville,
Oh, okay.
Really?
along
Okay.
with Ben Johnson. Now,
Ugh.
don't pick on me. What if Ben Johnson
Oh,
were to
here we go
coach
with
Trevor
Trevor
Lawrence?
Man, so
That's who you can't give up on.
she can't.
Nope.
You can't give up
She
on
can't give
him.
up on the Falcons?
No, I gave up on the Falcons.
Okay.
I had to cover up my T-shirt because it's a
we
Falcons
finally
one
got her to
today.
give up on the Falcons.
Yeah,
so
100%.
maybe next year she gives up on
Trash.
Trevor
Can
Lawrence.
you put your trash thing up there? That's the
Absolutely
Falcons
again.
right now.
Jen is here. Christy says Vrabel is so weird and McDaniels never again.
Yeah.
Fuck the Jets. She also says. So,
All right.
listen.
So
I'm
she
not,
hates New York.
well, yeah. I mean,
Christy.
she's a diehard Patriots fan, so I can't blame her.
I wouldn't mind Coach Soleil in Jacksonville, or given another chance.
Yeah.
Can I just say, give
I
the
think
man
he needs
another chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only name I'm hearing is Rex Ryan with the Jets, which is cracking me up. The Dallas Cowboys we already used intriguing. Deion Sanders is not going there.
No.
But the one that they keep throwing out there, don't fall asleep on Jason Witten.
I
And I'm like,
heard that
Jason
today.
Witten. Has he coached yet?
No.
And he was supposed to be groomed,
Right.
but I don't know if he was on McCarthy's staff.
Never heard his name.
Nope.
So Jason Witten, don't be shocked, but I'm like, okay, with no coaching experience.
Right.
I'm not going to count Deion Sanders. And Kellen Moore is the other one, offensive coordinator of the Eagles.
Right.
Yeah.
Was offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, was a backup quarterback for the Cowboys. The only coaching prospects, I'm going to call them, that Jerry Jones goes after are his peeps.
Yes.
Yeah.
His
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
puppets.
Yes,
And I'm
exactly,
using
puppets.
That term, but
Absolutely.
is he ever going to go outside of his comfort zone?
No.
Because
Because he wants
I mean,
somebody
how-
he can
how old is
Control.
he?
control.
How old is he?
puppeteer.
He's
Yeah.
not changing.
Yeah. No.
He's ancient. He's not
Which
changing.
means he needs to learn to hand the reins over, and he won't.
He won't,
because
no.
he's the owner, the GM, the president.
Yep.
I think his son's the vice president,
Yeah.
but that's the only other title maker that I'm dumbfounded. You guys got to help me out here. Kellen Moore, and I get it. Kellen Moore's a good, decent one. Jason Witten, but it's Jerry's guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least with Mike McCarthy, he did.
Yeah.
Because Mike McCarthy came from Saints, Green Bay.
Yeah.
Right.
So he did do that, but he controlled Mike McCarthy. too.
Correct. Correct.
So who's your pick? Do you guys have any?
Nope.
I mean,
I was
between the
gonna say-
Cowboys and the Jets, like
Right.
It's a shit show.
lesser of two, like which one?
I mean, if Deion Sanders ends up getting it, I will be shocked.
I will too.
That'll be
beyond shocked.
That'll be some contract.
Right?
They have to give him the world.
And do you have to bring in Shador then?
Right.
Because there's
Right.
this guy named Dak Prescott that you gave a lot of money to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming
Yeah.
back from an injury, but he's a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued by the
I'm
Cowboys.
way more intrigued by that than the Jets.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because God bless whoever goes to the Jets. Like, good luck to you.
Yeah.
But
I keep
same with the
forgetting.
Cowboys though. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
like whenever would you put the Cowboys and the Jets in the same group? Like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Christy says, grown man handing over the reins, more like clinging for dear life.
Yeah,
That's-
and that's
yeah.
just it,
Yeah.
Christy. Clinging for dear life is
Yeah.
right. And I keep forgetting the Jets' position's open because it's like Nobody's
talking about it.
interviewing.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about it. Nobody wants to go there.
Nope.
So,
I say give it to Rex.
Yeah,
why-
it
give it
would
to
be
us.
fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be so fun.
He'd get the most out of that defense. And I don't even think...
He's the only one who wants to be.
I don't know if he... I think he would keep Aaron Rodgers, though. I think Rex Ryan's being old school. I think he'd be like, all right, I can get the most out of Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. The talent is in that organization,
It is.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
100%.
I mean, I'm walking in as a coach with Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall.
Yeah.
You just didn't know how to freaking use Breece Hall.
Right. No.
Who went down. And don't tell me he was the biggest fantasy bust.
Yeah.
I mean, he was,
Yeah.
but not for, it wasn't his fault. So I'm excited to see when the dust settles, where the pieces fall,
Yep.
especially in Dallas.
Yes.
I mean, especially in Dallas. So even though our 6-pack of picks is done, CB, again, congrats. I still think we need to do a little predicting for
Oh, yes, of course.
these semifinal games. So we will start with Houston and KC. So do we want to talk about it? Anybody?
No.
Christy, who are you picking? Jen, who are you picking? I feel like we're all going with Kansas City.
Mama Wheels will be happy.
Houston has a chance, though.
Don't make me say it.
And Orlovsky kept saying Houston has a chance because Kansas City never won any games this year. Emphatically, they never went
They
out
haven't.
there and
Like,
crushed
it just
anybody.
depends on what Texas team shows
Yep.
up.
Right.
Yep.
Like what defense shows up.
Right.
And again, Joe Mixon
Jen
has
says KC, unfortunately.
yeah. Joe Mixon has to have another game like he had last weekend.
Yep.
Yes.
Against a very good Chargers defense.
Yep.
Because they have to be able to grind it out on the ground. It's too bad Stroud, CJ's not a scrambling quarterback. Because you just need to clock manage. You
Yeah.
need to eat some time off the clock. Have some long drives.
Yep.
In other words, don't let Patrick
Right.
Mahomes on the field.
Right. That's the
Exactly.
key. Yep.
And that is going to be the key. And Nico Collins is a hell of a receiver. I just wish Diggs hadn't
Yeah.
torn his ACL.
I know.
I wish Tank Dell's out too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. His
That
again.
kills that team.
That happened to didn't Dell get hurt last year
Yes.
in the play? Was
Yep.
it playoffs or very close to the
Yep.
playoffs? Yeah, that's brutal.
Dalton Schultz will have to be big at the tight end position, but none bigger than Joe Mixon.
No.
No,
None bigger.
Christy says KC all day.
Yeah, unfortunately. Detroit, Washington, that's not going to be a cakewalk.
No, but
But I'm going with the Lions.
yeah, same.
Okay, we're all going
same.
Detroit.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good game, and I think it's going to go down in that fourth quarter. I don't think it's going to be a runaway at all. I really don't.
No, because again,
really don't.
the Lions defense did play well.
They did.
They played very well against Minnesota. Very
They
well.
did.
In their
Well,
last
there's
game.
there's a coach we're not haven't talked about, Aaron Glenn.
Right.
He did interview for the Jets job.
Yep.
I forgot about that. I'd be remiss if I didn't
sure
say
he
that.
doesn't want any. Although he's
They
a
would
defensive
be-
guy,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he'd be inheriting
I
a
mean,
great
They
what
would
he
be
got out of them.
stupid to not hire him.
Yeah.
He squeezes so much out
What
of
he
that
got
Lions.
out of them.
Right.
So we're all going to go with the Lions?
Yeah.
Very nice balanced Commanders
What's the spread
team,
on
though.
that?
Because I love Terry McLaurin, who I'm going to talk about myself. I never even look at him in fantasy.
Me neither.
And shame on me. I love Robinson, and they got Austin Eckler back. Who you
Spread
can
is
dump the ball.
9.5.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I will take the Commanders in 9.5.
I'll take the spread.
Okay, so we're all going to take the spread,
Yeah.
but we're all going to take Detroit to win.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, money line.
Eagles, Rams in Philly. Don't count those Rams out because
not.
that young
No.
defense I thought was a
so
year
fun.
away.
Was so fun.
They play fast.
Yep.
I was Verse
Bryant-
is amazing.
Verse is
Yes.
a stud who lasted until like pick 18 or 19 or 20. I'm like, why is no one taking Jared
That
Verse?
dude is a gamer. Holy.
Yeah.
And last year, Bryant Young was a rookie. He's solid. He is so solid. But then you got Verse at the other defensive end, and then they drafted his Fisk, his buddy at
Yep.
Florida
Yep.
State, defensive tackle.
Yep.
Those guys are getting it done.
Yeah, they are.
That defense
That's a-
is so fun.
That spread is 6 points.
And Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator, will be the hot coaching name next year.
yeah.
And that is Don Shula's
Grandson.
grandson.
Isn't that cool?
Freaking love that.
That's amazing.
I got a little
Christy,
bit
you
of
talking
goosebumps.
about the Eagles game? She says tie and OT. I'm guessing she means the Eagles
I'm-
game.
I'm going with the Rams.
I'm going with the Rams.
I think I won 6-pack by choosing the Eagles, so
You did.
I'm gonna choose the Eagles.
Okay.
I'm
one
going with the
last
Rams
time.
with an upset.
I'm going with the Rams.
I would love to see that.
Because I want this to go to the.
Yeah, I know. Don't
This
we
is
all?
what I want.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
He's back to where it all started. Like
That would be
Yeah.
Oh, the storyline.
I mean, we had it last year because they
storyline.
played in the playoffs last year. They did, didn't they? I swear the Lions and the Rams played in the playoffs last year.
Yes,
Yes, but it was like the first game,
Yes, it was the first
game.
game.
Wild card. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're going to go a little separation on that one. But here's the game. Here's the game of the weekend.
The game
I mean,
of this
here's
whole
two
postseason.
teams
Yep.
that we all thought had easily can go to the Super
The
Bowl,
hype
and
is
now
real.
they got to beat their crap
Out of each other.
out of each other.
The over/under is 51.5.
Wow.
You want to know what the difference is for me? Derrick Henry.
Yep. I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
That guy is just a
Unstoppable.
The king.
Unstoppable.
And yet, in my head, I keep picking Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl. But I didn't have these guys matching up.
Right.
Too soon.
again,
It's too soon.
Wait,
I
too
wanted
soon.
Baltimore to go to KC, somebody go play Buffalo,
Yeah.
and then we have these guys,
Yep.
sorry Mama Wheels, in the AFC
Championships.
Championship. We're at Buffalo, both teams playing the cold.
Yeah, that's not going to be.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Both of these quarterbacks should be the MVP.
Yes.
Yes.
We've talked about Lamar the first 8 weeks.
Yep.
We talked about Josh Allen the last 8 or 9 weeks for MVP. You've got the two MVPs.
Christy says Derek the Train.
Derek is the train.
He is. He's.
And I like Buffalo's defense, but I'm not sold on the defense.
No.
I like the
all.
Ravens defense, but I'm not sold on. Are we going to go over 51 points? I think we might.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be
Yeah.
freaking 12 to
Or
9.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
boring as
It's going to be
shit.
one or the other. There's only 1 point spread on that game. 1
1 point?
1 point. But again, I always say
Holy
this. I also always say this about MVPs. It's not necessarily the best player.
Right.
It's the most valuable.
Right.
Right.
And so when you look at Buffalo, like
It is Allen.
It's Allen.
Yes.
The MVP on that team is Derrick Henry.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And is Zay Flowers playing? I haven't
I have not
heard a
heard yet.
report on Flowers
haven't heard
because
anything.
he's a huge difference maker
Right.
as well.
Yeah, it's because he's lengthens the field.
It's so funny because none of us want to pick.
No.
So I'm gonna go with Buffalo
Okay.
for reasons that I love Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I'm going with my heart, but also I really want a Papa Wheels versus Mama Wheels AFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl. So that's my other reason.
Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful.
That's
wonderful.
really what
That's
I want.
amazing.
So I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
I'm gonna go Buffalo too. Just because
Really?
I'm going with my heart. I'm going with my heart.
Well, now what do I do? Because I want to pick the Ravens, but I also know I picked Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
In my mind, when the playoffs started, I'm like, it's going to be the Bills and the Lions. It's going to be the Bills and the Lions. And I'm like, ah, damn it, what the hell do I do now? Stare at these two teams?
Christy says Allen's curly hair should be MVP.
Oh my God, his hair is beautiful. It really is. Christy, you are so right. I'm going to go with you guys on this one
Nice.
because I picked the Bills to
Let's just hope we
represent
didn't
the
jinx them.
AFC.
Oh, we 100% jinxed that.
But if the Bills lose, it's because Derrick Henry
Henry goes
Yeah.
off.
ran
He goes off.
over
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it's the last game. What time did you say on Sunday?
6:30.
Oh, thank God it's not at 8 o'clock.
That's
Yes.
what we said. I'm
Yeah,
like, thank
Jesus,
God it's not
Mary
an
Joseph.
8:30.
Yeah.
I can't.
You guys
I
already
hate
said that, and my
Yeah.
brain was going
Yeah.
to 8:15 again.
And
Yeah, because
NFL,
my
we
basketball
appreciate
game's
it.
at 12:30, so perfect. I don't. won't
NFL,
miss
we
anything.
appreciate it.
Yes.
That's a wrap, you guys. And what I just love talking. I just can't believe we're down to 8 teams out
I
at the
know.
same time. I'm like, where does the NFL season go? Where does it go?
I can't believe it.
I feel like we were just out on your porch watching week 1.
Yes, in
Like,
the sun.
In the sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little cooler on the
Yeah.
deck.
Take us back.
Having
Yeah, right.
nachos. Oh my God. I just don't know. It does help the winter go by.
It does.
I do want to give a big shout out to get out and watch some high school sports.
Yes.
We are about to approach halfway through the winter sports season. Again, Spalding U32 girls tomorrow at U32. Thetford versus Spalding Friday at Spalding, another 7 p.m. tip. I thought I had another one in my sights, but I can't remember because I think they're all tonight. Spalding and Harwood boys are playing tonight. Get out to some hockey games. We've got the Spalding Crimson Tide hockey team, girls hockey team, undefeated at 7-0 right now.
Nice.
The U32 girls hockey team right there at 4-1. And again, we're just approaching the halfway point. But get out there and support high school sports.
Christy says, hope you have a great basketball game, Wheels.
Oh, thank you.
Get out and
Gonna
support
need luck.
Wheels. I will be going to her game in February against the defending champs.
Against the defending champs, Mulligans. Yes.
Wait.
Wait, where are we going? I'm not invited?
Oh no, I don't
yes.
even know the date.
I think it's the Sunday
As
before
we get
the
to February, I'll let you know.
It's the Sunday before the Super Bowl. So
Okay, just, yeah.
February
Put that in your
2nd, I
memory
think.
Yeah,
bank.
just, let us know.
Yeah,
it'll be
We will be there supporting.
a battle.
Yes.
We will be there
Oh,
supporting.
wait, shit, is that the
When-
freaking weekend when my brother's
You're-
coming up?
Well, then take him to the basketball
Yeah.
game.
Shit, yes.
He'll be in for a treat.
Because it's at
Wait,
Williamstown.
wait,
right?
it's
It's
on
at
Sunday.
Williamstown. You
It's
don't
on
have to go to
Sunday.
Sorrow.
It's on
Yeah.
Sunday?
Yep.
Yeah.
He'll hopefully be gone by then.
Wow,
Sister,
we're really
brother,
looking
we
forward to this.
Listen, he's my twin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you twins. I get the twins thing.
Yeah.
I do. So support high school sports in your region, please. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy NFL playoff.
Enjoy. It will
And
be
there's
much
a-
better than last weekend. We
Yeah.
promise.
Yes,
Yes.
it will be. And there's a lot of great college basketball too. We didn't
Yes.
even scratch the surface. And Monday is the college football championship.
Yeah.
So, and that's a late one too.
It
but
is.
anyways, tune in for the first half.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's in it.
Yep.
Well, that's usually what I
Then
do.
we'll stick,
If-
right?
Depending on the scores, if I go to bed or
And
not.
I feel like the college games just last so much longer.
they do.
They do. They do.
Their half times are
They're
ridiculous.
half times.
Yeah.
Both bands got to play. It's like, come on.
Oh, my goodness.
So enjoy a whole rest of the week and weekend filled with all sports every day. Have a great rest of the week. We'll be back next Wednesday.